Hi everybody, welcome back to the Curtis Coast Freedive Challenge, Day 2. Today we're looking at dynamic apnea, that's dynamic with fins. So all of our competitors are wearing either bifins or a monofin. We've just started, we've been delayed by 10 minutes while we get the organisation ready. And just straight off now, we've got Mark Williams in lane C, Patrick Falls in lane B in the middle, and Pejman Siavoshi in lane A, just here. If Pejman's successful today, that'll be his third Iranian record for the weekend. They've just turned and come back. Oh, PJ's up. He's looking very solid. Taking his mask off, giving an OK sign. Looks like he's done the surface protocol correctly. He's come up somewhere around 60 metres. We've got Patrick and Mark Williams are still going. Patrick's up. Looking very strong as well. He's using the X20 Dolphin mechanical fin, which is a very new designed fin. Patrick's looking strong. The judges are deliberating for PJ.
And just stay on the lead swimmer and occasionally look back to the other swimmers.
And it's a white card for PJ. That's his third Iranian record. Is that a fantastic weekend, young PJ? Mark Williams from the Sunshine Coast has turned. He's approaching 125 metres. Mark didn't have a very good day yesterday. His young son Finlay, I believe, gave him his pet dinosaur as a good luck charm, and he unfortunately left it in the car and he got disqualified. So today he's brought the dinosaur with him, and you can see it over here, just lying on the end of his lane here. That's his good luck charm, and I hope it brings him good luck. Mark's up. He's done the OK sign. He's also looking strong. He's somewhere around 130 metres. While we wait for Judge John Wright to deliberate. I can't see anything wrong from here, so it looks like it's a good dive. A successful dive for Mark. Looks like the dinosaur worked. We'll get Mark over here for a chat as soon as he's out of the water. You're here with Ben Noble. We're here for the next few hours while we go through the heats and the finals of the Curtis Coast Freediving Challenge. Okay, PJ was I can't say his name. Siavoshi, Pejman Siavoshi was 69 metres, a new Iranian dynamic record. Okay, Mark's just popping out of the pool now. We'll have a quick word in a moment. We've got a busy schedule today. We've got everyone diving today, and we've got 3 lanes set up, and we've got a system of heats and finals. Wayne Judge, do you want to explain how the heats and finals work?
Sure. Because we have 3 women divers, we only have a final for them. So we don't have to have heats for them, but we have 9 men divers. So in each heat of 3 people, 2 will go on to the final. And then in the finals, we have 2 finals, because we have the 3 lanes, the 2 finals. The first final will be the people who did the 4th, 5th and 6th distances. They will do the first final. The second final will be the people who did the 3rd, 2nd and 1st distances in their heats. Will be running off for that. And then the distances swum in the finals will be that which features for the overall performance.
That's right. Okay, we'll get Mark over here now. I've got to quickly run away and do a bit of a countdown. So, Mark! Okay. Yeah. Judge John Wright just said it's a very nice, clean swim. We'll get Mark over now. Mark! Mark Williams from the Sunshine Coast. Congratulations, a white card performance. Obviously the dinosaur worked.
Yeah, thanks for that. It was a bit better than yesterday's performance. I got my son's lucky dinosaur with me today. I accidentally left it in the car yesterday, so that's my excuse for my bad swim. But now that felt good today. Yeah.
Absolutely. Looked fantastic. You looked very nice and clean when you surfaced. Your stroke was really even the whole way through. It was a good dive in general?
Yeah, it was. I wasn't relaxed at all yesterday, and I just tried to really relax and enjoy the swim, and it was good to be in the cooler water than the warm pool yesterday. So no, it was a really enjoyable dive. Yeah, it was good.
Absolutely. Conditions are a lot nicer today with the slight breeze, bit of shade with the clouds, and not too hot.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful day here, and it's going to be, it's good fun. So Thanks.
Great. Well, congratulations again, Mark.
Thanks, guys.
Go have some breakfast. All right, I'm off to start the countdown for the next one. I'll hand over to you, Wayne.
Excellent, thank you. So we've had a very interesting start here. It's a lovely Queensland day. Thank heavens we've got some cloud cover. Otherwise we'd be roasting. Already we're covering ourselves with sunscreen, which you have to do in Queensland. Otherwise you're going to get very, very burnt. Okay, Patrick, you've brought along the dynamic oscillating lateral fin.
Yeah, I have. It's works. So probably ready
Yeah.
to go. So yeah.
This is an invention by Ron Smith, an engineer from the US, a freediver as well. And I happened to have a good chance of testing this fin out in Hawaii when I was there last year, and I found it was a very comparable fin. And actually, it's been used to break a couple of records, has it not?
Yeah, I believe it has.
Yeah, I think the last 2 American USA records have been broken with this fin. And how was that swim?
Oh well, with the stress of the comp and everything, I just went easy and did an 83-metre swim. So a lot
Okay.
more static last night. Come up perfectly clean.
Good. Yeah, it's all about white cards.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah. Now, tell me, Patrick, what do you have to do to get this fin to work for you?
It's a bit different to your fiberglass fin. Like uses more like strength from your ankles and your knees.
So it's a small stroke, is it?
Yeah. Well, I'd do a very small stroke, I think.
Yeah.
And I actually do about 6 to 7 strokes to a 25 metre, which is, you can say, isn't compared to your glass fin, but
Yeah, but
in saying that,
you're not pushing such a large amount of water through, are you?
no, definitely not.
Okay, so we are seeing comparable distances. But the point here...
Sorry to interrupt.
Here we go.
Yep. Sorry, Judgy, I have to
Yeah,
Go
okay, no problem.
run.
Yeah, we're all here. We're working. We're finding how it is to run dynamics and heats. Okay, all right. So I was had the privilege to judge Pejman Siavashi from Iran, and he's very new. Months of training in freediving as opposed to years for many of these others. However, he did a comfortable swim at 69 metres. Took him 1 minute and 3 seconds. He started off doing he's wearing bifins, but he started off doing a dolphin kick and then moved into the bifin kick towards the end of it. I'm going to lend him my monofin in the next couple of weeks, and we'll get him training in that. We'll see some results here. The guy obviously has a good breath hold. Okay, so we've got a minute to go before we get the next heat away. And in lane 1, we have Cameron Sutherland. That's down the far end of the pool there. And then in lane 2, we have Jonathan Chong. Cameron Sutherland is a local here from Gladstone. Jonathan Chong is our Singapore competitor. And Lee Woolley down in this lane here, which we're calling lane 1, he is a Brisbane freediver and has been training in Brisbane for some time. Judging the centre lane is our head judge, Fran Rose from New Zealand, Aida B. Judge. 30 seconds to go before they go. Now, after the official top time, an athlete does have 10 seconds to get his airways under the water before a penalty incurs. If they put their airway underwater before the official top time, there is a penalty there as well.
10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Official top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, heat 2 is off. And Jonathan Chong has been swimming plus 100 metres in training. He did over 125 a couple of weeks ago. So we might see a bit more, depends on how conservative he goes. And we like to see a diver do as much as they can, of course, but within the realms of the competition, understanding that nerves and a change of sleep in a different place, these all can have a tally on what the overall swim is. The key on an athlete is to be able to judge on the day how far, and an experienced athlete tunes in enough to be able to know when to come up. But of course, nerves and excitement of the day, it can all make a change, so occasionally mistakes are made. Now we see Jonathan is just ripping along. He actually trains hard and usually fast. He's done 100 meters now. He's gone past, here he's up, right.
Touch 100.
Okay, so Jonathan's up around the 125 mark, and Lee Woolley has just touched 100. A nice, calm, slow pace here. And here we have in bifins, Cam has just touched, Cameron Sutherland has just touched at 100. Now Cam is generally good for around 125. Yep, he's coming up around 115. And Lee Woolley has just come up. He looks at about 126 there. So these are all estimates, of course, from a distance. Okay, they all look good swims. All look good swims. But we'll get the official judgment shortly. You may have come across on our Australian Freediving Association Facebook page some of the pictures from yesterday. Y. Brand, here's our photographer, doing a great job. The Facebook pages that cover the group's training here is the Sydney Freedivers and Friends, Curtis Coast Freedivers and Friends, Brisbane Freedivers, and the Australian Freediving Association. Yeah, you've got to write the numbers down. How quickly a number will disappear from your mind when you're in times like this. So they look really nice swims, all plus 100. There you go. And you were looking after Lee there, was it not? Yes.
Talk about commentating on the fly. I've just come back from judging Lee Woolley's attempt. It's a very clean 128 metres.
128, that's an excellent swim.
Lovely dive. It's not a personal best for Lee. He's done up to, I think it might be. He's done 132 in training. I think. I'm not sure what he's done in competition, but that's certainly one of the best dives he's had so far.
Yeah, but tell me, that's not in the realms of his no fins.
Absolutely not. We've got a strange breed of freedivers coming through now that can actually swim further without fins than with fins.
Yeah, well, Jonathan Chong, he was struggling to get past his 100-metre dynamic with fins a couple of weeks ago until he swum 100 metres without fins.
That's right. He's had a few mental blocks, and I think he needed to get get one in the bag of actually hitting the end of the pool at 100 metres to really sort of go up to the next level.
Yep.
So coming up next, we've got Heat 3 at 10:34, which is in 9 minutes' time. We've got Nigel Stevens of Gladstone. We've got Jonathan. Oh no, we're in the wrong one. We've got Jack Hatfield of Sydney and Richard Frost, also a local guy. That's coming up in 9 minutes. Good. It's been a good day so far. I don't think there's been any red cards.
Yeah, that's nice to see. Everyone's working it.
Spit and polish there from Nigel. Alright. So
as an athlete on the way for a swim, he polishes the lens of the camera.
That's what happens with these local competitions. Everyone gets a job. I think we've got about 6 or 7 jobs on the fly.
Yeah.
So it's been a fantastic morning so far. It's a beautiful day today. The sun's out, but there's a few clouds around, just keeping the temperature down a little bit. The breeze is picking up, which is keeping everyone nice and cool. I don't think we've got any of the dehydration issues that we had indoors yesterday. It was very hot and people were losing a lot of liquid during the day, and I think that added to some of the disqualifications.
Yep.
We'll try and track down one of the athletes and have a quick chat to them. We'll get Jonathan Chong. He's coming over now. Jonathan's always good to chat to.
Not from us.
We'll get. I've got some. From No Fins.
Get them off John.
Jonathan Chong. Yes. Singapore extraordinaire, mate. Congratulations. Was that a national record?
Yeah, I think so.
Congratulations. That's a fantastic dive. So another Singaporean record for you.
Yeah, I think so. Thanks, Ben.
You're still catching your breath. Was it a tough dive?
Yeah, it was a little bit tough. Like, it didn't feel as good as what I was hoping for, and I needed to reserve some strength because we're going for another finals round later.
Oh, so you already thought you were in the finals, did you?
Yeah, I was hoping I was going to get into the finals. There's a bit of a mental game in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of strategy involved with the heats and finals, that's for sure. You did a fantastic dive. It was a good distance for you. That was a personal best in the pool?
It was just short of a personal best. My previous personal best was 130, and this was a 126, so just short of it.
Oh, it's still a very good dive, and it's a national record as well, so you've chalked up another one. It's been a pretty good weekend for you so far.
Yeah, it's been really good for me.
Yep. So now that you've got one in the bag for the heats, and you're quite possibly in the final, or you are in the final, what's the thoughts? Big dive?
I'm still thinking about that in a moment.
Yeah, you're still a bit hypoxic, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit. The brain's not working yet.
All right, mate, we'll go let you get some water and have a rest for the next one. Jonathan Chong, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ben.
Okay. You're here with, I'm Ben Noble, and this is Wayne Judge. We're bringing you the Curtis Coast Freedive Open. Today's the second day, dynamic apnea, wearing fins, going as far as you can horizontally on the one breath of air. Okay, we'll have a quick in-water interview with Judge Fran Rose. Fran, tell us about Jonathan, judging Jonathan.
Well, Ben, when you said he did a length, when you said he did a length for 34 seconds, it takes him 34 seconds per length, I went, oh yeah, okay. Not clicking, we're in a 50-metre pool.
He's a pretty fit little fella.
Yeah. Lucky I've got a little bit of fitness about me. Yeah, that was one good swim.
All that swim coaching has come in handy, eh, Fran?
Yeah. Good solid ending, Jonathan. Well done, buddy.
Well, if you need a Gatorade or anything, or a power bar or something, you just let us know. We'll flick you something.
Maybe something a little bit stiffer later.
Okay, there's some brown liquid I found in one of the bags over there. I'll see if I can dig it out.
Thank you very much.
That was Fran Rose, the head judge here at the Curtis Coast Freedive Open. No, 6 minutes. Oh. That's okay. All right, the next tops are in 5 minutes. 5 minutes till official top. Jack of all trades here. We are. Everyone's got a job or three.
Yeah, so we've we're rocking and rolling on the second day, and we got off to a little bit of a slow start as far as getting on air goes, but we're catching up now. But we can actually recap now, if we got a couple of moments, on how we did yesterday.
Yesterday was a very interesting day. We had I think there was a lot of conditional elements came in. There was a lot of dehydrated athletes and a lot of nerves as well came into play. And we saw a couple of little penalties and a couple of disqualifications.
Yeah, and the new athletes are getting used to the new pool. There was a handrail in there that is not featured in a lot of pools.
And that's certainly something that we don't train for in Brisbane. We don't have any handrails or conditions like that. So some of the athletes might have been thrown off by that. Yeah,
so I mean, it's a little bit, we'd like if everybody had sufficient time to be able to come up and check a pool out and practice servicing. And of course that's ideal, but sometimes you just do not get a chance, the time to do that.
Absolutely. And in the heat of the moment, you're swimming, you become slowly hypoxic, your brain starts playing little mind tricks on you. You do forget a few things here and there, and sometimes it just feels natural to just grab the edge of the pool and pull yourself over. That is a controversial rule, and there's currently under debate throughout the freediving community. There's a whole bunch of rule changes coming up very soon, and the community is debating on whether or not that rule needs to be adjusted.
Okay, yesterday on the dynamic no fins, we'll just roll over some of the results. Emily Shaw, she got a white card. She did 85 metres. It was a personal best.
Yep, that's right.
Patrick Falls, he got a red card, 85 metres, post-mechanical blackouts.
That's right. He just had a little bit too much hypoxia to be able to keep his head up.
Yep.
Next up was Mark Williams. Unfortunately, he didn't bring his dinosaur along, his good luck charm, so he was also disqualified after a 117 metre dive. It was a very long dive for the day.
For no fins, it was. It was a good dive, bad ending. Okay, Amber Burke, she got a white card at 151, and last year in the Curtis Coast Freediving Challenge, she set an Australian record. That was her first Australian record, was it?
That's
not?
right, that was the first Australian record then. I
Yeah.
believe it was somewhere around 160 metres.
Yep. So the Pejman Siavoshi got a white card at 57 metres, record for Iran. Nigel Stevens got a red card, 60 metres. That was a surface protocol. Took a second too long.
Well, that was Nigel, yeah, just 1 second too long for Nigel.
Richard Frost with a foot penalty, a yellow card. He came up at 80 metres.
A pulling penalty.
Pulling penalty, thank
We've been
you.
told by the athlete.
The athletes. Yeah. And we had, after Richard, Jonathan Chong got a white card at 99 metres.
Excuse me for one moment.
Yeah.
2 minutes till official top. 2 minutes.
All right, I better go do my job. I'll leave the commentary over to you, Wayne.
Thank you kindly. And Lee Woolley, he did a white card performance at 163, which was the largest swim of the day. Nicole Keating, she got a white card and a personal best at 110 metres. Jack Hatfield, the last swimmer of the day, 107 metres and a white card. So that caps up yesterday what happened on the dynamic no fins. On the statics,
1 minute 30.
we've got 1 minute 30. I'm just going to sign off for a moment and drop the volume down so the athletes have a chance to concentrate. So in lane 3 here, we're looking at Richard Frost in the Speedo suit. He's just putting on his nose clip.
Official top. 1 minute.
In lane 2, with the Sydney Freedivers head cap, is Jack Hatfield, all the way from Sydney. And in the far lane with the New Zealand head cap, we have Nigel Stevens. Okay, look, we've got the Kiwi there representing at the side of the pool there. That's his lucky charm, no doubt.
Seconds. 20 seconds.
At the beginning of the performance, an athlete has to have a body part touching the wall as he moves off. He cannot stand away from the wall and then start the performance. Some people will have a hand behind, some people will make sure their backside hits it, or they drop below the surface and kick off.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So today we've got Richard Frost here in lane 3. He's wearing a waterway fin. Jack Hatfield is wearing a waterway fin. And from here, Nigel is wearing bifins. Ruku design, actually. Ruku is a New Zealand make. Richard Frost swam in last year's Curtis Coast Freediving Challenge. He did 150, if memory serves me well. So there's similar pace going here. Jack is a little bit in front of Richard here. And Nigel's up. He's looking clean. He's holding his head up. That's good. Jack has just made his turn. He's off. And Richard has just made his turn. 100 metre turn, and they're continuing. this is the last heat. It's heat 3. And we got Jack up. Jack's come up. He's around the 130 meters. And we've got Nigel. He's just come up. He's just been given a white card. 90 meters, white card. We've got Richard up. He's down near the, looks like 145 meters or thereabouts. So of course, as with the other disciplines, when the diver comes up, once the airways come out of the water, he or she has 15 seconds to perform the surface protocol. And that is facial equipment off, the OK signal, and saying, I'm OK. This is international surface protocol. Okay, and then they have to remain the airways above the water for 30 seconds. So it's 15 seconds and then another 15 seconds. And after that 30 seconds airways out there, they will be recognized by the judges with the appropriate card for their performance. And we've got starting to get in the position now, the final for the ladies dynamic. We'll have this heat here, or with this final, the ladies' final, and then we'll be having our break before we go into the men's finals. Okay, let's. All right, well, I'm with Jack Hatfield from Sydney Freedivers. Okay, Jack, just step closer. I've got a short microphone cord. That's good. Yeah, work it. And Jack, how was that performance?
Yeah, felt pretty comfortable all the time. This new suit makes me a little bit cooler than last year when I had the full body suit and I was just overheating like crazy. And it's good relief. Puts me into the A final with that swim. So yeah, it was good from there.
Okay, and did you push a bit or did you just take it easy?
Well, my PB is 160, so I was just sort of, aim a bit to be conservative, come up white, and just it was a little bit tough because it's just at the start and comp nerves and all that sort of stuff. But once I started going, just relaxed into it, I was actually really enjoying it. So it's good.
Yeah, that is good. And what's your strategy for the final?
I've got nothing yet.
Is that a no comment or just give it a crash? Give it a dash.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I come up good at the end this time. So yeah,
Good.
Be good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good. Can I see you? here. Okay, nice. You did a 90-metre swim, was it, with a white card? How was that?
Felt pretty good to get a white card. My history is not too much white card, so I was hoping to do a sort of low number but get a white card, so pretty happy with that, yeah.
That's really good. That's a very good way to put it, and get a record of white cards, because it is white cards that win competitions.
Yeah, well, that's what Fran was just telling me. More important to get a white card than sit on oxygen for 20 minutes too. So, and she said I possibly might get into the finals. I don't know about that, but if I do, I'll get another shot at it. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, good. Okay, so that was a good performance, and great to have a white card. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
Good.
Okay, I'm back from judging. Just a recap, I was just judging Richard Frost from Gladstone. Richard performed a 141-metre dive, but grabbed the lane rope just before he came up, so he got a small penalty for that.
Okay.
Otherwise, it was a clean dive, a beautiful dive from Richard.
Okay, and will we see Richard in the final with that?
I'll have to check. I hope someone else is adding up the scores and putting that together, but I'd suspect that with a 141 less 5 points, he'd be definitely in the final.
Yep, okay, good point. Yep.
So we're coming up in just under 5 minutes now. We've got about 3.5 minutes. We've got the women's final. We didn't have a heat, so all the ladies are going straight to the final. In lane A here, we've got Nicole Keating of Brisbane. Nicole's a bit of an unknown quantity. She just had a fantastic training dive just before we came up here, so we're expecting good things from Nicole. In lane B, we've got the reigning Australian champion, Amber Burke. And in lane C, we've got Emily Shaw, who is not New Zealander, but there is a Kiwi in her lane for some reason. I think we're overrun by Kiwis.
I think it's a bit of a setup, actually.
Yeah, I think we need to get rid of that. Okay. What time is it? Okay, we've got just about 3 minutes now until official top.
Okay, 3 minutes. So we probably should jump in and do a bit of a plug for one or two of the sponsors here at this stage, because we've been so rushed we've managed to omit them. So.
Absolutely. We've had a number of great sponsors help out over the weekend.
Yep. And okay, so let's have a look at the
Australia
Apnea Australia.
Apnea Australia, yeah.
Yep.
Apnea Australia is a freediving school run by Eras Beta, so they've got instructors all around Australia, and they teach freediving courses and do trips to Tonga, annual trips to view the humpback carving and go play with humpbacks in crystal clear water.
Yeah.
For a month of around August, September every year.
Yeah, and look, just a point on these sponsors, these people are actually investing in our sport, and we'd like to make sure that they get some sort of return from it. So
Absolutely.
if you have a choice, then you'd go with these ones who are actually sponsoring us and sponsoring the new sport.
Absolutely, it's a growing sport, and we'd like to give a shout out to all these people who help contribute to the growth of the sport.
Yeah, and Gladstone, we have
Okay.
Pats. You off, are you?
I'm going to run off.
Yep, all right.
2 minutes till official top.
Okay, in Gladstone we have Pat's Tackle Shop, and that's down by the waterfront near the yacht club. And Pat's, they've always been contributing to the local clubs here, and they've contributed to spearfishing competitions, and they also sponsored our last freediving competition last year. So for all the Gladstone viewers, you're looking for fishing tackle, and you're looking for diving, your fins, spear guns, masts, snorkels, go and see Pat's Tackle Shop. Okay, so we're on the final countdown now for the ladies final, and in lane 1 is Emily Shaw, still with the Kiwi by the edge of the lane there. She is not a Kiwi, by the way, but we do have a lot of Kiwis here, so it's obviously a plot. In lane 2 here we have Amber Burke, the current Australian record holder. She's got the black cap on with the white straps. In lane 1 with the blue Speedo cap, the black strap on it, we have Nicole Keating. Now these three girls are probably some of the hardest working in training. I have the pleasure of training with these girls in the in Brisbane Freedivers over the last few weeks, and they all put in good training, good hard training time. Okay, the ladies' final has begun. This should be an interesting one.
Yeah, it should be. Should be some big swims out of it. Like, I think Amber might be looking at the 200 mark and Nicole the 150, but should be very interesting.
Should be interesting, yeah. And so Patrick, this is the first competition you've organised, right?
Yeah, it is, and it's gone really well so far. Like, the amount of help I've had is insane.
So it's a good community of help in the freediving world?
Oh yeah, like every freediver here has gotten involved, helping with official videos, and just like Brisbane crew and Sydney crew made up of one have all helped out.
I wonder if I'm counted in the Sydney crew these days. Actually, I'm so in the Brisbane crew with their training with the Brisbane freedivers, and 3 years up in Curtis Coast here. Well, that kind of puts me in the Queensland crew more recently. They seem to be a bit quiet to me down in Sydney now. Don't want to tell me their secrets and who's doing what.
Yeah, funny that.
Okay, coming in now, we're seeing in lane 1, very slow and relaxed style. There's Emily Shaw. Here we are, she's just coming to make a turn, slightly ahead of the others. Okay, and here we go. Amber's made her turn and kick off, and Nicole. So we've got all 3 swimmers have passed 100 metres now, all 3 girls. Okay, Emily Shaw is up. We can hear the coach, strong coaching there. Good coaching can make the difference between a mediocre performance with a penalty and a good performance. Okay, so we've just got the other 2 down at the 150 mark. Amber has just turned, heading this way. Nicole is just making her turn now. Both divers have done the 150. Okay. Nicole is up at 150. And we have Amber continuing on. She is moving still at a constant pace. It's looking good. It's looking good. The 2 safety divers are keeping abreast. The judge is right in front. This could be a new record here. She's getting close now. Okay. All right. Here we are. There's a touch. Yes. That is a good. I can't give the judge's opinion, but that looked very good to me. Her mouth came out before she touched the rope. She did the touch at the 200, so she will be called a touch and turn, 201 meters. So, coach is still working to keep her focused. Wow, we have a new Australian record. 200 metres, a new Australian women's record, Amber Burke. 200 metres. Of course, it needs to go through the full ratifying of the AIDA system, but the white card from the judge, 200 metres. And you know what? She looked so positive and in control when she came up. That was great.
Amber Burke, 200 metres, new Australian record. First Australian girl to hit 200 metres. That is an amazing job.
That is amazing.
Absolutely amazing. We'll get her over here in a sec while she catches her breath and
Yep.
hugs everyone in the pool.
Such a close community.
Yeah. In the other lane, Nicole Keating did a very clean 155 metres for her, which is a new PB in training and competition as well.
Wow.
So,
To do a
very good.
PB in competition, which is a PB overtraining, that's a feat as well. That's
Absolutely.
Well done.
Although she almost incurred a penalty because she splashed the judge on one of her turns. We don't tolerate that kind of stuff. So, while Amber's running around, we might get Nicole. Nicole! Nicole! Nicole Keating, congratulations, 155 metres, very clean at the end. How'd that one go?
Good. It was pretty painful towards the end, but it went well.
A little bit painful. We weren't quite sure whether you're going to turn at 150 metres, and your turn was a lot slower, so we were a little bit, oh, is she going to do it or not? So how were you feeling right then?
My turns were shocking, so I wasn't particularly happy at that point. But no, I'm very pleased I turned at 150. Very.
Well, you'll end up in the right direction anyway, and you came up very clean, so there's probably a little bit more in the tank yet.
I really hope so. So break it next time.
Absolutely. Are you wishing you had a second dive today now?
No, definitely not.
Right, what's next on the agenda for today?
Coffee. Definitely a coffee.
All right, well, we'll let you go have a coffee. Congratulations. That's Nicole Keating, a 155 metre white card today. We'll just get Amber over here now. Amber Burke, new Australian record, 200 metres. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm pretty happy.
Okay, talk us through that one. It was a fairly long dive by the look of it.
Yeah, mentally that was actually quite a challenging dive. I thought about coming up at pretty much every turn, so I'm glad I didn't though. Yeah,
it's a great thing, mind over matter. It's lucky that you managed to push forward and do that, because you've obviously you've got more in the tank there.
I don't know about that. I think that was about it.
Mind over matter, come on.
So I would like to say you obviously have more in the tank. You came up, it was clean.
Thanks, Wayne.
You held your head high, you weren't even resting down. It was a very good swim and a great service protocol.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely. I have to say, you're probably one of the top 3 women in the world right now, and you're still quite young. You're 23?
24.
24?
Yeah.
You got years ahead of you now. I think you'll be giving Natalia Molchanova a run for her money soon.
I don't know about that.
Right, she's got to go on the pension soon. I hope you're not listening, Natalia.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to everyone watching at home and cheering us on. I know Tank and Vanessa are watching all the way from the US and all the guys from Brisbane, so thank you for cheering us on.
Absolutely. We've had a lot of messages from all around the world this morning supporting all our athletes here. So thanks for listening, and we've got a little bit more to go yet. We've got the men's final coming up very soon. So Amber, thanks a lot and congratulations. Okay. Lots of high fives going on in the background here. Everyone's very happy.
It is great actually witnessing when there's a change, you know, when there's a record come about, because you're actually witnessing a part of history that's not going to go away. She'll always have that as part of her diving, you know, resume.
Absolutely. Every now and then you see something that's absolutely monumental here, and the first lady to 200 metres is definitely up there as one of the best Australian freediving moments.
200 metres is an absolute huge distance.
Oh, it's not a walk in the park.
Yeah, it's a great
That's for
thing.
sure.
Yeah.
There was only a few years ago the men weren't doing 200 metres, and now for someone as slight and as small as Amber to just come along and belt every male virtually in the country is a pretty mean feat.
It is a mean feat, and we love it.
Judge Fran Rose.
Yes, I just wanted to say, having been her safety and judge in the water
you can
with
touch
her.
the mic, it's okay.
Oh yeah, okay, but although I'm wet. Yeah, she didn't actually show a lot of pain in that dive. She looked quite comfortable. There was a little bit of mental struggle there going, but it's great to see her really awake in her swim and come up with a very strong surface protocol.
Absolutely.
And that beautiful smile.
And I think that's one of the things we've noticed about training with Amber for the last couple of years. With that background of synchronised swimming at the national level, they do a crazy amount of training with a huge emphasis on carbon dioxide tolerance, and they really have a mental grit that not a lot of athletes have.
No, that's why she is a champion, because she has that extra edge above just the regular Joe Blow like myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think she was a little bit disappointed when she left the synchronised swimming and didn't make the Olympic team, and that was a bit despondent, but she certainly found the right sport.
Oh,
Yeah.
hasn't she?
We'll
Yes.
take anyone.
Yeah. Yep, I'm sure we'll see a lot more to come, don't you?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And she's only young. She's 24, so she's got years and years ahead of her.
Mm.
She's got a good 30 odd years of competing left in her, probably.
Yeah.
If she hasn't broken every world record by then.
Okay, back to you guys.
Back to the commentary box.
Yeah, we've got some stuff to talk about the Kiwis diving too.
Okay, a quick recap on yesterday's static. We'll have a look at that. The
Yep.
breath holds yesterday evening in the closed-in pool at Terry's Swim School.
Terry's Swim School. We had the static apnea. First up was Emily Shaw with a 4-minute and 34-second personal best from her. Very strong static dive.
Yeah, it was a white card. Pejman Siovashi had a white card, 4 minutes 48.
That's a big dive for Pejman. He's done a 5-minute on the bed at home before in dry training, and he's done a bit over 4 minutes in the pool before and not quite been successful at the end. So for him to pull off a 4:48 in competition and get an Iranian record is a big step up for PJ.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more from him. He's very enthusiastic.
I think so. I've not seen someone so keen as PJ for a long time.
Yep. And Patrick Falls, he had a white card performance at 4:02.
That's right, very good dive for the organiser of the competition. He would have had a myriad of things going through his head about the stress of the day organising everything. I don't think he slept very much the night before, and he clocked up over 200 kilometres just driving around picking up athletes from everywhere, from the airport and travelling around. So 4 minutes and 2 seconds was a good dive for him.
Yeah, Jack Hatfield from Sydney got a white card, 4 minutes 2. And when you get two people having the same performance, you have a look at their announced performance.
Yeah, so the deciding factor there is who announced higher. So in the event that we have a tie, then whoever announced a high performance will get the top place.
Yeah, and they both announced 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, then we flip a coin, I think. Poor old Jack was quite hungry during his static. His coach at one point after about 3 minutes said, "Oh, don't worry. As soon as this is over, we can go get a steak." And he reached up and started tapping his head. You could tell he was hurting.
Yeah, Jonathan Chong, he had a white card performance at 5:23.
Singapore Velvet, we call him down in Brisbane, because he's got one of the finest coaching styles you'll ever see. He is static apnea coaching. He talks about manta rays and whales swimming in the ocean and big blue whales swimming along and whale sharks. He takes you on a journey, and he's got the beautiful velvet voice. We call him Singapore Velvet.
That's right, and it was and you know the thing about it is all the judges get into that mode, and all the safety divers are going, oh, yeah.
It's almost distracting. You forget to hit the stop button when he comes up. But congratulations to John for another great dive.
Right, Nigel Stevens had a white card performance at 4 minutes 12. Cam Sutherland, he had a red card, and that was our only red for the night.
That's right. It was a big dive for Cameron. He's done better in competition before. He's done a little bit over 6 minutes before, but I think the conditions on the day, he was a bit dehydrated and a little bit sort of running around beforehand, and he didn't end up doing as well as he has in the past.
Yeah. So then the final competitor was Richard Frost. He had a white card performance at 4 minutes 31.
That's right. We had the three Gladstone guys lined up at the end, so it was a bit of excitement seeing who would come up first and second. And Richard came up second. Cameron came up last but got disqualified. So it was a small victory for Richard in the last heat.
Look, sometimes it's a little bit controversial, the blackouts that occasionally occur in a freediving competition, and I think it needs to be brought into perspective. And recently our Australian men's dynamic record holder Tank Said from who broke a record, was it 217 metres?
I believe, 217 in Los Angeles.
Well, he brought it to the attention of the interviewers, and the interviewers very sharp about what they want to talk about, and they asked him about, is this dangerous that a person blacks out? And he brought it up, the fact that far less danger that a person has a hypoxic scenario is held by the safety divers. Within a couple of minutes he's breathing and laughing and all that. Far less damaging than a hit up, say, where a person is knocked out in football.
Absolutely. We should point out too that in over 20 years of competitive freediving in AIDA International, there has never been a death in competition. There's never been a serious injury or ailment coming from competition. People do black out. They come back within a few seconds. Sometimes it's within about 2 or 3 seconds. Sometimes it's a little bit longer, but they always come back, and they're always lucid and talking within a couple of minutes. And there is absolutely no evidence to suggest that there's any long-term damage. Whereas you look at other sports, contact sports like football, boxing, and there is starting to be a lot more evidence to suggest that you can have brain injuries from those kind of contact sports, whereas there's nothing to say there's been any long-term injuries from freediving.
Yeah, I think if they wanted to start football now, if it was not a traditional sport, and we said let's start football now, I think it would be a hard task.
Absolutely, and mind you, there's a sport called underwater rugby where they actually play rugby underwater, and I think that's lunacy. That's just people belting each other underwater. And if you're into that thing, fine.
Okay, all right. And look, as a final thing, sport is very much judged by the people who are in it and the opinion of the overall masses. And let's have a look at, say, something like as mountaineering. We think mountaineering is a pretty traditional and bona fide sport. But, the people who are climbing Everest are actually still walking past bodies of people. They can't be brought down because they failed in their attempt or a storm came in. So we're really not in an extreme sport here. With no deaths, no permanent injuries, we really are in a well-controlled and safe sport.
Absolutely. I went to dinner 2 months ago with some friends. They'd just come back from France doing some mountaineering, and we were talking about freediving and some of the relative risk-free sport that it is. And he just casually mentioned that he was climbing a mountain and 2 mountaineers fell off a cliff right in front of him and died. And I thought about, well, actually, I think I picked the right sport now.
Yep. Yeah, I understand that for sure. Now, we've got just a recap of the current world record in dynamic apnea, which is what we're watching. That's underwater swimming with a fin, distance, in a pool. So the world record is held by Goran Kolak.
Goran Kolak from Croatia. This man never smiles. It took a world record 281 metres before he actually cracked a smile. He's a superb athlete. He's an amazing underwater person, and I hear that he is going for a world record very shortly. The word on the street that not many people know that yet, but Goran, look out for Goran in the next couple of months. He'll be attempting I think it's a dynamic no fins world record.
Okay, on to the next dynamic. Okay, and then on the
I'll be back in a moment.
The women's world record, Natalia Mochanova from Russia, 243 meters. So Goran's record is 281. And that's 81 meters more than Amber swam today. And Natalia, her record is 234, which is 34 meters more than what Amber swam today. Now that was done in the Worlds, which was held this year at overseas. All right, so we've got I'm just going to go over a couple of sponsors now so we can fill in a little bit of time and thank our sponsors. So one of the sponsors is the dive shop Adreno in Brisbane, in Wollongabba in Brisbane. This is a very a big dive shop, and it has a huge internet business. You can order online, you can order telephone, or you can come into the shop. So they've kindly donated packs for each of the athletes, and they've also donated a freediving suit, which is a Orca TNR or TNG suit, which is a chlorine-resistant smooth skin suit.
Wayne, we'd just like to interrupt for a moment. We want to talk about some future events coming up. We've our cousins across the Tasman are putting on a couple of shows in the upcoming couple of months. So we'll get Fran and John to talk about those. Fran, John?
Hi, how's it going? I hope everybody's getting an aspect of how difficult this sport can be, but also our pleasure. We've had some great results today. In the near future, we've got some competitions going on in New Zealand, and we'd like to invite anybody watching this to come and compete. What's going on here? This is our Kiwi over the back.
And he likes to eat roots and leaves.
Yeah, he does. So I'll put it over to Fran. She's going to give you some dates and sponsors for these events.
Yeah, well, AIDA New Zealand and all the people within the freediving area in New Zealand have got it on their calendar. They've got coming up on the 16th, 17th of November, the Dive Wellington Beaushire New Zealand Pool Freediving National Championships at Palmerston North, hosted, I think the organiser, Catherine Nevitt.
Catherine's hosting that, yes.
So that's one to look for, and Catherine's been doing some big static breath holds of late. So we might be in for something quite interesting there, John.
Well, hopefully Catherine goes. She's always wanted to give Natalia's record, but Natalia's moved forward. Catherine would like to an 8. I think her best is 7:36, so that's pretty.
Yeah, that's
well.
phenomenal, isn't it?
I'm
Yeah.
getting pestered here by an Australian pom.
Yep. Our Kiwi likes to feature in everything we
Yeah,
do.
we do.
Moving on for Auckland, seems to be happening all around the country here in New Zealand. So, well, they're in New Zealand. The next comp they're hosting is the 30th of November, and that's the Greg Holland Jewellery Diamond Deep. And that is, I believe, a depth event in Lake Pupuki, our old home training ground, John.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm helping to organise, but mainly judging this. And for me, the good part about this is the main prize, which is a diamond worth $1,000, isn't going to the person that dives the deepest. It's actually going across the board to be drawn amongst all competitors, which I think makes, getting people to come along. Anybody can come along. Contact details are on the web and our Facebook page. There are some training sessions on Thursday nights at the lake, so you can have a look at those. It's the first time that we would like big numbers. This has sort of suffered a bit. The lake itself, we used to run a competition here called the Cosmic Challenge. And cosmic meaning that you're not quite sure where you are because it's so dark and green.
Green, yes.
But for recreational divers, there's a maximum limit of 32 metres. It will be run under AIDA rules, and those are the sorts of places when we have safety divers, etc. It makes it a lot better for people to come and attempt things simply because everything is in place. Numbers wise, as I say, we've struggled in the past, but I think with sponsorship and the right advertising, we'll certainly get there this year.
So just clarifying, I'm reading here, John, that the Diamond Deep competition is you nominate your depth, and I believe it's limited to 30 metres, 40 metres, sorry.
50 metres is the max.
50 metres, okay. Right.
50 is the max for competition grade.
Okay, and we've got a recreational grade too, so that's limited to the 30 metre.
32, and they've done that, so if you nominate further than that, you must compete as a competitive free diver. Under that, you're recreational diver.
Right, okay, so the objective here is to go down, retrieve the tag, and then you go in the barrel to be selected out to win the diamond.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the actual rules are. The jewellery shop that will decide that, but as far as I'm aware is that all competitors go into the draw whether they fail in their goal. So anybody that enters it goes in the draw. That's what I get from it at the moment. It may well change from that, but it's good that the new divers get a chance to win the major prize. The other prizes, which are sponsored by Ocean Hunter, there's a lot of prizes for first, second and third in the men, first, second and third in the women.
I see there, I've got the list here. Ocean Hunter are sponsoring with a big prize pack here, and they've been a really good support over the years of all the competitions throughout New Zealand. So
yes, they have. Since Mike's come on board, it's been really great.
Yeah, and then also a Mare's kit and a one-on-one training with Jonathan Sunnix, who is the world number 3 in constant weight. Wow, wouldn't that be a fabulous prize?
Yeah, I'd like to win that myself.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
Jono's a great guy and a very good diver and has a nice approach about him. So yeah, that's well worth anything.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
The Kiwis putting back into the sport,
Finally.
So.
Have to say that.
No.
But look, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really... This is my second visit to Queensland. I did the Brisbane Open recently. I love the competitiveness of people over here, but I also like, you've been seeing Wayne a bit. I also like the fact is that the sport is growing to the stage now. It looks like on our calendar in future we're probably going to have a competition once or twice, 2 times over here, maybe 3 competitions over here and 3 in New Zealand, which makes for the competitive freediver the opportunities with the travel. It gives them a lot of opportunity and not having to travel to Europe.
Maybe the New Zealand and Australia need to get together and sort of hit up Qantas or Air New Zealand and let's get some solid support happening, given we've got so many solid divers in this region.
Well, the Europeans, to be fair, you and I have both been at international competitions. They refuse to come down under for the simple reason is it's cold and it's dark and it's deep and it's horrible. But they don't like the fact that in recent times New Zealanders have won the World Championships. Some of our top divers, the Australians now with Emma coming through, Walter Stein.
Yes,
Walter,
Stein.
Top divers, and then in New Zealand we've got Dave Mullins, William Trubridge, John O'Sunnex, Kate Middleton, all those sorts of people. And if you look in Europe, they've got 10 times as many divers and have half the results. So, I think we have a great way about us, and I think it's a bit more the casual approach. We don't take things so seriously.
Right. Yeah, sorry, John, to
you're right,
interrupt,
I'll
but I just need to also mention that the AIDA New Zealand Depth Nationals are being held in Taupo on March the 21st through to the 23rd. Now, that's a fantastic event. I actually started that event, so I have
How long
to give
ago was
myself
that?
a rap there. It's been a very challenging conditions at times. It was quite...
I've won it 1 year and come second next year, so I plan on coming over again and taking all your sheep and women.
Oh, good
Do you want,
stuff.
do you want the
And,
do you want the gum boots as well?
to Lewis out there, please drive safely, mate. But
Ben has a reputation of hiring rental cars and not returning them properly.
yeah. The thing with Lake Taupo is, it is cold. It is surrounded by 3 snowy mountains. But, John, it's a fabulous venue because there are places to hide away from the conditions. You've got amazing visibility for a lake. And, okay, we may encounter 11 degrees Celsius at 40 metres. Or 9 degrees. 9 degrees at 40 metres, but it's kind of refreshing, and it wakes you up if you go into your little trance and you're gliding down the line. So that's how I find it.
It is a
personally.
great comp, and this year, Catherine, who's one of the organisers, is talking about running a camp before it of 7 or 8 days of training with workshops, etc. So it's much more of a lifestyle choice for people to come rather than have to come for 2 days, and I think that could work out for our overseas guests. But it is a competition that once again I'm involved in. I may even compete this year, shock and horror, but if I don't get chosen to judge. But to me, the camaraderie showing, you're all in a tight bunch of people, you're all in the same campground or area, and it is one of the competitions that I enjoy most.
Absolutely. I'd just like to point out that I've competed around the world, and Taupo is one of my favourite venues. Like Fran said, you can get to 100 metres on any angle outside of the wind. The conditions are always fantastic. It is cold under there, but it's 19 on the surface. That's fine. Yeah, everyone copes. Everyone's in the same conditions, but it's a competition I'll keep going back to year in, year out. It's a great vibe. The Kiwis are fantastic, and it's a cheap holiday to get around and see New Zealand as well. It's cheap for everyone in the world to get down there.
Thank you so much, Ben. You're being very pleasant.
As painful as it is, I think you Kiwis do a decent job.
Well, look, hey, nice to talk to everybody. Hopefully everybody back in New Zealand's been watching this and have got something out of it. I certainly have. I've just got to go and announce the finalists, the A and B finalists for the men's, which is coming up shortly. So I'll hand you back to Wayne and Ben, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Fran and John, and kia ora to all our New Zealand friends out there. Sure. We've got about half an hour till our finals, the men's finals, and we're just about to calculate who's in the final now.
So how does the calculation go, Ben?
We will work off the same principles as the World Championships. So it's the top 6 people make it to the final.
Okay, so it doesn't matter what heat they go into. If it's the top distances, the top 6 people go to the final.
That's right. It's the top performances. In the event of a tie, 2 people tie, then we'll take the higher announced performer through to the final.
So sure, we'll have the announcement now of who it is that goes through to the final. So I'll let you know very shortly.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fantastic format. Putting all the best divers one after each other, you find there's a lot more strategy involved. In the World Championships I've been involved in with the finals, you can actually see the athletes looking to the lane next to them as they're swimming along. Some people intentionally slow down so they can have a look at their competitor to see what they're up to. And the second they see them come up, they'll just push another metre or 2 and come up, just to win the World Championship. It's a very strategic style of freediving, which is a relatively new format.
Yep. So it adds another complete realm, doesn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Looking back and forth across the lane to see where the other guys are at.
Yeah, and it's a great spectator sport as well. There's a lot of oohing and ahhing going on.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
So
now,
we'll
I didn't get a chance to have a look at the underwater footage today. Did we have some underwater footage going?
I'm not sure. I've been too busy running around judging and commentating.
Yeah,
so,
we did. So I have no idea what that looked like. I know the underwater footage yesterday in the pool was looking great.
Oh, it's fantastic. We've got a lot more light out here today, so that should be even better.
Yep, good.
But I'll toddle off now and organise the finals. Well, it's probably a good time to mention a sponsor.
Yes. We better find my list of sponsors.
Adreno Spearfishing and Freediving in Woolloongabba in Brisbane have been a great sponsor for the Curtis Coast Freedive Challenge. They've donated a Orca TRN suit, as well as provided t-shirts and a little gift pack with some stubby holders and some other goodies for all the competitors.
Yes, and okay, we've got Be Cool Mobile Cool Rooms.
A local business.
Yeah, $100 to help handled the cost, which was very good, much received. So look, if you need cool rooms and you're in the Gladstone area, Be Cool Cool Rooms. They're the ones that helped us help them.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thank you very much. And Teron Quinn in Sydney has donated $200 towards the cost of the competition as well.
Yeah, and his business is Essential Tree Services, and he does pruning and root grinding and various other things to trees.
Awesome. Does he come up to Brisbane? I could do with a bit of tree grinding.
Yes. So look, if you and I know he's good service. He's got a bunch of guys that work for him, and he gets to his jobs real fast. So if you are in Sydney and you need your trees, your roots ground or your trees pruned, call Essential Tree Services.
Think of roots. Think of Ron Quinn. Local business again, Gladstone Physio and Fitness. They've offered a 1-month gym membership to one of the local guys, possibly one of the safety divers or something.
Yes, I think that's going to be the go. One of the safety guys from won't be much good for us guys in Brisbane.
Not really. It's a long way to come up for a workout.
Yeah, for a month of workouts.
But yeah, very grateful to Gladstone Physio and Fitness for providing that prize.
Okay.
All right, I think that's it for me for the moment. I better go and tell the good news to 6 freedivers. Tell you what, it's heating up here. Temperature's getting right up now. The sun's come out. There's not many clouds around now. It's really heating up.
Can you just roll a little bit, and I'll just go and pick up for another sponsor that we haven't done.
Absolutely. So as you can see here, we've got the safety divers. Slight technical hitch there, provided by a wayward foot. You can see in the background here the safety divers. They perform an absolutely essential service to the freediving community and the competitions. Great job. We train them really hard. We provide a lot of scenarios. We provide a lot of worst case scenarios to them to really make them some of the safest, best freedivers around.
Yeah, we've made it a tradition where prior to any comp, we do a night or an afternoon where the safety divers come in and drill themselves hot. So they're fast to operate, they operate as a team, and make the whole pool very safe.
That's right. Okay, I'm going to go off and provide some tutelage for the schools now.
Good. Okay, we've got another sponsor here, and this sponsor, his name's John Falls. He's brother of Patrick Falls.
There you go.
So tell me, what's it like, brother of Paddy, the organiser? How's it been, how have you seen this been run through his eyes?
Oh, Paddy's put in a lot of effort and a lot of his own time. I'm really proud of him. He's really exceeded himself here, and no, it's a really good comp, and he's done well.
Yeah, he certainly has. Okay, now you've your business and your wife have sponsored the shield trophies for the competition.
Yeah, my wife's little business, Zafari Designs, she's put up the money for the trophies for the comp.
And Zafari, how do you spell that?
Zfari.
Zafari, yeah.
Come about through, she began making just toddler-proof clothes for our little bub, and then it grew, and she's doing really well, just pumping out clothes that kids can't wreck. And yeah, she saw the effort that Patrick put into the competition, and just really wanted to support him in that, and so she's put the money up for the trophies this weekend.
Fantastic. Well, that's really well received, and thanks very much. Now, what's her name?
Zoe.
Zoe from
Zafari
Designs. Excellent. Yep. Well, that's great. And you're a safety diver today?
I am. I'm swimming the first half of the pool in lane 8 here.
Yep. So how do they arrange it in dynamic? You swim half a pool and someone takes over?
What we're doing is one of us will start with the diver. The other person will be halfway down the pool. I'll swim to halfway, tap him on the back. The second diver will swim the second half and the return. So the first diver swims 25, second diver swims 50, and then if they keep going, I'll swim the next 50, and so on. It works better that way as a team, because when you get towards the end, as he comes up to halfway, the both of us will swim with the diver till they come back up onto the lane rope. And it just supports working as a team a lot better. Yep,
excellent. And of course in bifins you're not going to be able to keep or maintain the speed that some of these divers are trucking along in their monofin.
And that's 100% right. Some of the more relaxed divers aren't too bad, but some of the boys, you need to for sure.
Yep, excellent. Okay then, well thanks very much John, and thanks Zoe very much. With the freediving community really appreciate the help.
Oh, I will. And thanks for coming up, mate.
Good, cheers. Okay, we've just got probably a 15 minutes before we continue with the men's, the first of the men's finals, and very shortly we'll get an announcement of who's actually in what heat, and we'll let you know shortly.
Okay, back at the Curtis Coast Freedive Challenge. I'm Ben Noble. Joining me is Wayne Judge here. We're commentating today's diving. We've just been talking to the other judges and we've arranged the A final and the B final. I can confirm now that the B final will be... I can't read his writing. It's
that looks like Ken.
Going to be Jack. In the B final, we've got Jack Hatfield, Mark Williams, and Richard. Sorry, is that the A final? Oh no!
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I can't work under these conditions, honestly.
Okay, I'll just because I'm a New Zealander, I should be able to translate John, our New Zealand judge's writing here.
I brought a couple of translators with me.
Okay, so in the A final, we have Richard Frost.
Richard Frost.
And Mark Williams.
Mark Williams from the Sunshine Coast with his dinosaur.
Yeah, and Jack Hatfield from Sydney.
From Sydney Freedivers.
With Sydney Freedivers cap. Okay, and so then in the B final, or the B final, we have Lee Woolley.
Lee Woolley from Brisbane.
Yep. Jono,
also from Brisbane, the Singaporean national record holder.
Yep. And Cameron Sutherland. Yes.
Yeah.
And he's from Gladstone. He's.
It's going to be very interesting to see how these guys perform, seeing as they've already done big dives this morning. So they're resting up in the shade up the back here, getting rehydrated and trying to chill out as much as they can.
Yeah. Now, just a point here: we've got all competitors here are using monofins except for Cam. Cam is using bifins.
Old school.
He is. Yeah. Look, Cam is a Gladstone spearfishman from the old school, and he's been working hard on his bifins.
Monofins have been around for probably about 6 or 7 years in competitive freediving. Before that, everyone used bifins. These days, it's very rare to see someone do a dive in bifins now, so it's good some people keep up the old traditions.
It is, there's no doubt about it. But, you know, in modern freediving, dynamic, which is the pool, and static, which is the pool disciplines, that really has come up of becoming, I wouldn't say equal status, but very high status in the sport regards to importances. But it wasn't always that way, was it, Ben?
No, not at all. Just like to point out too that we've got listeners all around the world. You can tweet your questions to us. My Twitter address is freedivingbenny. Tweet any questions you got. We've had a few comments this morning from Los Angeles and from Great Britain and Egypt as well. It's from people listening in around the world.
Excellent.
I'd just like to point out too that we made a little foo-foo before on Tank Said's national record. It's actually 218 metres for Tank Said, the Australian national record.
We knew that we were both a little bit guessing. It was terrible, isn't it, that we'd have to guess. But it was like, I know Benny thought 216. I went, maybe 217. How was it?
It's longer than I can do. Who cares? Tank Said is an Australian based in Los Angeles. He's an actor. He had a long stint on Gilmore Girls. He's quite popular with the ladies from what I hear. You know, a male actor in Australia. Apparently all he has to say is good day. Well, so he tells me anyway.
Yeah.
I know he's an actor. He's full of. You know.
Well, actually, wasn't it the case that he started off in the sport because there was a girl who was a freediver and he met her and
Started off in a bar in Los Angeles. Met a girl. She was a freediver. He said, "Oh, I can hold my breath longer than you." He failed dismally and didn't get the girl. But he went on to get a couple of national records in freediving, so it wasn't all bad.
yeah, it wasn't all bad, you know. And I don't think it's going to be a problem getting the girls from now on.
Absolutely not. No.
Because of course freediving is such an absolute feature sport with heroes, you know.
Oh, well, yeah. Look at you and I. You know, just prime examples of heroes here. Tank is a mad keen Spiro as well, and he's a great asset to the sport. He's also on our Australian Freediving Association committee as well.
That's right.
I'm not sure what position he actually is. I think he's more of a social officer than anything else.
Well, I was thinking PR.
Yeah, PR is his game.
Yeah,
I think he's good at it. He can talk the talk. We like Tank.
Yeah, we certainly do, and you know, it comes up with many excellent ideas for future expansion, so we appreciate that.
Absolutely. And if anyone out there wants to join the Australian Freediving Association, you can just go to our website, australianfreediving.org. You can have a look there. We're just about to revamp the website too, so a little bit of time and it'll be looking absolutely schmick.
Yep. So the Australian Freediving Association, this organisation is a non-profit sporting organisation run by freedivers for freedivers.
Absolutely. It's a not-for-profit. All the funds we get, we pour back into the sport. These days in Australia, one of the biggest costs we have is third-party insurance, and that's a big chunk, and that's why we have to sort of keep our membership fees high. But the beauty of it is the more people that join up, the lower we can bring the prices. We're not out to make a profit. We want to grow freediving in Australia.
And we've got some groups going across Australia. In Sydney, we have the Sydney Freedivers Club. And what have we got in Brisbane?
We've got the Brisbane Freedivers in Brisbane.
Yep. And
we have a few little satellite feeders into there as well from the Sunshine Coast and our north and the Gold Coast as well.
Yep.
And we've even got a couple in Toowoomba, which if you don't know, Toowoomba's it's up a mountain 2.5 hours away from Brisbane. There's not an ocean in sight.
So yeah, we've got some communities going, and of course we've got Curtis Coast Freedivers here with who's hosting the event today. Fran Rose is a major player up here.
That's right. She's done an amazing job bringing everyone together. Started off as as a spearfishing club, and when Fran came along, started to develop more of the freedive side of things, and built her a really good water tribe.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, just recently, we've had Melbourne freedivers come online, and with a bit of help from Ant Williams, who's
another Russell Crowe amongst us, another Kiwi we've claimed for our own.
Yeah, Ant Williams been over in Australia here for many years and represented New Zealand in World Championships many times.
That's right. I had the pleasure of going to the Bahamas last year with Ant, and watching the Bahamas' Vertical Blue World Cup. It was 6 days of diving in Dean's Blue Hole, which is a 205-metre blue hole in the middle of Long Island in the Bahamas. And Ant was gunning for 100 metres constant weight, and every day he didn't quite make it, couldn't get down, couldn't equalise, or had problems. On his last day, he nailed 100 metres.
Last dive.
Last dive. It was an amazing effort. He's one of the strongest divers in the world. And he's been around for a long time. He's been diving since the early 2000s. He's been competing. So he's one of the oldest guys on the circuit. Or he's been on the circuit for the longest time. He's not the oldest.
He's not oldest. I think I might get somewhere near there.
I know. It's not the age, it's the mileage, I always say.
Yeah, and look, Ant Williams, he's helping out down in Melbourne, mentoring where he can. But I have to say, in Sydney Freedivers, he was the most, what would you call it, key mentor that we had. When we arrived there, my son and I, Anthony, who founded Sydney Freedivers, we really didn't have much clue, and he put safety in, gave us safety things that we had to do. Everything from there has come about just tips he's given here and there, and so we definitely like to thank Ant Williams for his contribution to the sport.
Absolutely, he's got a wealth of knowledge there from travelling and freediving all around the world, and he's been able to sort of bring that back to Australia and help us all out. He's a top guy. Easy on the eye too. He's one of those guys that men want to be mates with him, and women lust after him.
Yep, and he's a family man. Got a couple of lovely kids.
Beautiful children.
Yeah. Okay, and in Perth we've got Perth Freediving Training Group. I think that's what it is in the Facebook pages, and they're just getting together. We'd like to see some something more cracking from them in the future. So please feel free to run a comp or get one of the local comps, which we call in Australia Max Nights, which is a local non-ranking competitions we run.
Max nights they're basically designed just for people who aren't ready to compete yet, just to give them an idea of diving under competition conditions. So we have almost identical conditions to a competition where we have countdowns, we have safety, we have timers and judges and cameras as well, but we don't have the pressure of having to perform in a competitive environment. And it's just a welcome to freediving competitively for some of the newer people.
Yep. And then we also have a group just getting cracking now, Northern Freedivers up in Townsville.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, don't know that one.
There we go. But we've got Adelaide. Adelaide has got some good people, good contributors to the sport. We've got Jodie Fisher down there.
Absolutely. Jodie Fisher is one of the strongest women freedivers around at the moment. She's been really helping along the Adelaide scene down there, trying to get the pools on board, working with Brent Quilliam. Unfortunately, Brent was with us for a small amount of time, brought all his knowledge to us, and then within a matter of weeks he had to go back to Adelaide. So we all miss him at Brisbane Freedivers.
Yep. And is Jodie still a current record holder in the sport, Ben?
I believe she's got the
static, is it?
Static record and possibly the constant weight no fins. I'd have to check the records for that, but
yep.
She's had a number of Australian records.
Yep, and she's a great contributor to the sport. We, she has a lot to say, and we certainly listen to her because she's very experienced.
Absolutely, she's got a competitive swimming background, so she's looks amazing in the water. She's also a classical guitarist as well.
Yes,
so
Jodie Fisher. You can actually catch her on YouTube.
Can you? I've not looked.
Yeah, she's got classical guitaring clips on YouTube. There you go.
There you go, freedivers. Well, we've got many talents. Absolutely.
Good.
So we're all around Australia. We've got a huge amount of growth in this sport. When I first started back in 2004, there was only really a handful of people around Australia. It was really hard to sort of find buddies and train up. Now the guys turn up, and we had 25 people turn up to training last week. So yeah, times have changed for the better.
Yeah, well, didn't Australian Freediving Association drop down to one committee member for a number of years?
That would be me.
And weren't you in the UK?
Yeah, I was. Yep. Running things from abroad.
Yeah, but you're a strong contributor to the sport. Do you not hold the treasurer job international as well?
Yep. At the moment, I'm the AIDA International treasurer, so I'm on the board there. It's a European organisation. AIDA International was started in Lucerne in Switzerland. I believe, actually, we're based in Lucerne in Switzerland, but started by a couple of guys, Roland Spector and Claude Chapuis in France, back in around 1990. And the idea of AIDA International was to centralise all the records, create a equal environment around the world for people to set records and to compete. So they set the first set of freediving rules, sent them around the world, and we started competing under the same banner. So comparing apples with apples, that was what the main intention.
We've certainly come a long way since then.
Oh, absolutely. I'm getting Kiwi, I can feel it. Yeah. AIDA International, they've officiated over, it's almost 300 world records.
And what's the relationship of Australian Freediving Association to AIDA International?
Well, AIDA International has national bodies all around the world, and the Australian Freediving Association is the Australian representative of AIDA International.
Excellent. Good.
Absolutely.
Okay, and we've got highest ever memberships, highest ever competition entrance, highest ever local competition, the Max Night entrance.
Oh, you name it, we've got it. And we're all pretty social too.
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling at the moment, so
Absolutely.
Now's a good time to join.
Absolutely. Good. So we're a bit under 15 minutes to go now until our men's final. All the guys are setting up now. We've got Jonathan Chong in the water. He's looking nice and relaxed, snorkel in hand. Always a smile on Jono's face. He's one of our more jovial freedivers from Brisbane. Lee White looks like he's shaking Lee Woolley, sorry, he's shaking the lactic out of the legs over in the far lane.
This will be a good heat, and the reason I say that is because we've got 3 people in monofins, 3 big swimmers, so it's going to be a very interesting heat.
Absolutely, I'm expecting some big dives here. They're going to get quite strategic and quite competitive with each other. Particularly, I believe Lee and Jonathan here, they'll get sort of fairly competitive with each other.
Yes.
Being from the same club.
Yes, they train together, and we often see them in the same pool, working out, helping each other.
Absolutely. That's a great thing about freediving competitively, is everyone helps each other, no matter if you're in competition with that person or not. My very first competition I went to, all the best and second best in the world were buddying each other for static apnea, coaching each other, and it's not very often you see a sport where your main competition will help you out.
So Ben, what's the problem running depth competitions in Australia?
Depth, Wayne. We have none. Australia. When I was travelling around the world freediving, the first thing that people would say, "Oh, you're from Australia. Why don't you have any competitions?" Well, we don't actually have the depth available close to shore. That's the problem. You have to go about 50 kilometres out to sea to get any decent depth.
And 50 kilometres out to sea, it can be a very slight wind change, and it can go against the current, which we have all year round just about, and it turns dival conditions into completely undivable, so you could not schedule anything.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, logistically, it's very hard to put on, but the other thing is you've got to manage your safety as well. And in an environment that far away, it's a bit harder to manage. If you're thinking in worst case scenario.
Yeah, and it's we have such huge swells that come up the coast as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But we have had a depth competition or two in the past in Australia. In 2010 we had the Australian Championships held in Cairns in far north Queensland. We had a pool competition, and then we had a depth in one of the local volcanic craters, which is Lake Eacham. It's around 65 metres deep. It's a beautiful location set on the hinterland of Cairns.
And just the problem with that lake is that's just not deep enough.
Just not deep enough, but it's a beautiful lake. You park your car, you walk 10 metres, and then you're in the lake. It's an easy entry, beautiful conditions, lovely warm lake. They do have the largest python in the country that lives in the local bushland around the area, so you can't leave your chickens lying around, so to speak. Quite often you'll go up and you'll see something slither through the bush, and a wild turkey sort of running off, and something big's chasing it.
So the interesting thing about diving in Lake Eacham is the fact that they've got some really big barramundi in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Barramundi's a large freshwater fish.
Yeah. The barramundi were introduced in Lake Eacham for fishing back in the 60s, I think, and there's still a few left in there. And barramundi get big with age, and it's usually the ladies that end up being well over a metre in their old age. I teach in Lake Eacham very occasionally, and one of my last courses up there a couple of years ago, I had 4 spear fishermen that were having a lot of trouble equalising. They couldn't get down past about 8 or 9 metres, and I went down to 13 metres, and I just sort of hung on the rope for about 20 seconds, and this big barra came up and sort of hung around the rope. They like structure, so you throw a rope in the lake, they'll come and have a look at it. They're quite curious. So I went back up and I said, "Hey, there's a big barramundi about a metre down there." 4 heads disappeared. Suddenly, no more equalising problems. Down to 14 metres they went, and yeah, there you go.
So the solution then for the depth is to go to Lake Taupo in New Zealand. That's one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Taupo is an easy option for us. It's an easy flight to Auckland or Wellington as well. It's about halfway in between, and you just hire a car and drive down to Taupo. It's about a 4-hour drive. Although we have to point out you do have to be careful with your hire car, and it's best to get insurance, as we found out the hard way last time.
And so then with the other solutions, of course, if you can get over to Vertical Blue, to the Bahamas, dive at Long Island at the Dean's Blue Hole.
We have a AFA member over there at the moment. He's just landed a few days ago. So a 52-hour trip over to Bahamas.
No wonder we don't go there that often.
No, it was it's a stinker of a trip getting home too. I left on a Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock I believe it was, and I arrived home on a Wednesday morning. It was no stops in between. It's running from airport to airport, but it's well worth the trip.
Yep.
It's one of the greatest dive spots in the world, Dean's Blue Hole.
Well, I when I want depth, I've been going to Hawaii.
Ah, Hawaii, that's not far away either.
That's not far away. It's one plane trip from Brisbane or Sydney.
Absolutely. We've got a couple of friends over in Hawaii as well, in Kona.
Yep.
And
Annabelle Edwards, I'd say she's the matriarch of freediving over there.
Absolutely. She's the godmother of Hawaiian freediving, of US freediving.
Yep. And record holder, past record holder.
Yep, as a mother and daughter team as well.
Yep.
Jessica, her daughter, is also a US former record holder.
Yep. Just, I think, north of Kona is a bay called Hanaunau Bay, where you can just swim out. And as you swim out, you're probably about 100 metres offshore. You've got 70 metres deep.
Oh, lovely. You can't ask for much better than that.
Yeah. On the way out, there's usually a resident school of spinner dolphins that especially interact with freedivers because we go down and meet them.
Now you're just boasting, Wayne.
I love it there. It's just sensational. Of course, your visitors, stellar, 40 metres, 30 to 40 metres.
Oh, sounds lovely. Sounds lovely. We've got about 50 metre visibility here at the 50 metre pool in Curtis Coast Freedive Challenge. It's a lovely day. There's not many fish in the pool, but that's probably good because they're all spearos, and if there's a fish in the pool, they'll be chasing it.
No wonder there's none.
Judge Fran Rose is just hopping in now. We've got 3 judges out of the pool, walking along the side of the pool, and Fran Rose is judging the centre lane in the pool. So she's judging with fins on. A very hard thing to do while you're swimming, trying to keep up with the athletes and making sure they don't do any penalties along the way, and then keeping an eye on them when they surface. Not an easy job, but Fran's well up for it.
Yeah, and Jono is the toughest one probably at the meet today on keeping up with. He's doing a 50-metre lap in about between 34 and 36 seconds.
He's a very quick swimmer, Jonathan.
Yeah.
So we've got about 4.5 minutes. I better go check my times. Hang on. So I think I'm doing the countdown for this one.
Okay, so yes, look, over in lane 1 we have Cameron Sutherland from Gladstone. Lane 2, Jonathan Chong, Singapore diver from Brisbane. And lane 3, Lee Wood, Brisbane freediver.
All right, I'll tune out now and come back to the commentary a little bit later.
So in running such an event, we have a judge down either side watching the outside lanes. We have our head judge, Fran Rose. She swims with the centre one to keep an eye on him and be there when he comes up from his dive. As we're saying, it brings into another realm as being able to watch how far the other divers go. And so if you are able to keep a track of the other divers, all you have to do is go 1 metre more than the last person to come up. But once again, how much attention, how much time and energy can you focus on checking out the other divers? So it's a little bit of an unusual situation, and certainly adds a level of strategy to it.
Okay, there's 3 minutes to the official top. 3 minutes, guys.
Okay, so 2 minutes to official top. Every athlete has their own preparation method, certain things that go through your mind. The idea is getting yourself calm and heart rate down.
What are you videoing? We need a video for the end line. Jack, we need a video for the end line. 1 minute to official top.
Okay, a 1 minute call to official top. First final.
You're videoing the end line. 30 seconds. 20.
At this point in time, a diver has to make sure they keep the airways above the water to make sure they don't just accidentally dip it down before, which will disqualify them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, all 3 divers are off. Okay, we got the divers touching at 50. First 50 metres done. Of course, each individual diver has their own sensations and things they have to handle to keep going, and at this level the divers are pushing back beyond that first urge to breathe. The urge to breathe does not come about because of low oxygen, it comes about because of the production of carbon dioxide, and that brings about the urge to breathe. So it is sometimes considerably, depending on divers, because it's all very individual, but it considerably past the time you get your urge to breathe will you come near having low oxygen. And Jonathan Chong is streets ahead again. That's just a fast diver, and here we've just got Lee making his turn now. He's got a calm and slower pace. And Cam in the far lane with his bifins, he's just making his first 100 metre turn. There we go. So we have Jonathan Chong up, and he got to this point where he needed to get to, where he came up. He's not done such a long swim, but it's the second big swim for the day, and he's probably done a wise thing. Lee has continued on. He's gone down. He's probably at 140 now. Cam is up there. He's done 100 and probably about 110 thereabouts. And Lee Woolley is making his turn now. There he is. Lee Woolley has turned at 150. Okay, he's got a slower pace going here. And this works from him. This man, his discipline that he likes is his no fins. He's just come up now. It looks like 100 and about 62 or thereabouts. And it looks pretty good. From here, from the distance, looks like he's a strong service protocol. Excellent dive from Lee Woolley. We'll find out whether he's got the yellow or the white card. Oh, he's got a white card. Okay, Lee Woolley, that is definitely a great swimmer today. He's got a white card. White card. I love it. The athletes are so supportive of each other. The thing about freediving, it is a team sport. It's not team against team, it's team for the whole team. Without the safety, without the divers to train with. Okay, and Cameron Sutherland from Gladstone did 111 metres clean. Okay, Jono, 118. 118 for Jonathan Chong. Okay, 118 metres for Jonathan. So you see the athletes have got the weights around their neck. Well, this is a ballast thing. The major amount of flotation comes from the expanded chest with the airfall, and the neck weight is the ideal place to put the weight to counterbalance this. The neck weight is just lead shot inside a rubber tube, and if without it, you could be going down through the pool like a sea plough, pushing water before you. So when you put the neck weight on, it brings the whole body into alignment. So that's the idea of the net weight. At the moment, no one's making them for a commercial basis. They're just put together. You go to a bike shop, get one of their old tubes, fill it up with lead shot. You want to make it sealed so it doesn't leak the lead into the pool, and away you go. So we're waiting for the official distance from Lee Woolley, but it's around about 160. So we've got one more swim today, which is the last final here. We'll just get Ben up here, who can give you the details of his swim. What was the official distance for Lee?
Benny on the ground, I'm back. Oh, Lee Woolley did 165 metres.
165.
A whopping big PB for him. His PB before that was 130, I believe. So he was absolutely spent by the end of it. He couldn't even get out of the pool. He got out of the pool and he fell back in.
Well, it looked like a
huge effort.
Looked like a strong surface protocol from here.
It was. There was a little bit of it was a close call of him getting his airway up before he touched the rope. It was very, very close, but he just managed to get there in time.
Good.
It only would have been a small penalty anyway.
Yep. Okay. So that's
a fantastic
effort.
dive from Lee. Big PB, and he'll come fourth in the competition now. Jonathan Chong did 118 metres, very clean as well. A great dive for Jono. And Cameron Sutherland in bifins did 111 metres.
Yeah, 111. That's a good effort.
That's a long way with bifins. That's a heavy workload on the legs.
Oh yeah.
You'll be feeling that tonight.
The lactic acid, yes.
Absolutely. So it's a fantastic B final here. So all the divers are be absolutely ecstatic with those divers, especially Lee.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. Well, I'll just go and see if I can find Lee and bring him over here so you can have a talk to him.
Okay. You're here at the Curtis Coast Freedive Challenge. I'm Ben Noble. We've just had the B final, so we've just had the placings for 4th, 5th and 6th position. So in 4th position we've got Lee Woolley with a dive of 165 metres. In 5th position we've got Jonathan Chong of Singapore with 118 metres, and 6th position we've got Cameron Sutherland with 111 metres. All very strong dives, particularly seeing as they dived earlier on, a couple of hours earlier, so they're already a little bit tired, and pulling out personal bests on their second dive of the day is no mean feat. So coming up in a few minutes now, we've got Jack Hatfield in lane C, we've got Mark Williams in lane B, and lane A we've got Richard Frost in the finals. So we should be expecting some fantastic dives from the three guys. Come on, Richard, talk yourself up. Wind's picking up now. It's getting a lot windier here, which is keeping the cool down a little bit. It's a stinking hot day now. It's turned into here in Gladstone. Lee Woolley. We've got Lee here now.
Hello.
Congratulations, Lee.
Thank you.
A massive personal best after already diving once today.
Yeah, it didn't feel too bad actually.
No, it was all good.
It hurt a lot, but the legs and things, but
yeah,
the swim was okay.
You looked very tired at the turn at 150, but you were saying you were a lot more fatigued before that.
I was using Amber's trick to just felt dog the whole way. So DOG to see if I was sane. So it worked actually.
Amber's trick is to make sure you're still with it by spelling a word. Turn and then try and spell a word. And if you can finish spelling the word, then come up for air. Well, you started on dog. We'll get you up to something bigger, like encyclopedia or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a very big dive. Did you think you were going to go past 150?
I was hoping to get to 150 because I've set that for a goal for a little while on dynamic. But
Yeah.
I was glad just get there and turn and see how it goes.
Yeah. And the majority of your training's been for no fins just recently, hasn't it? So you haven't put the fin on for a long time?
No, probably once in the year, I think. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've secured 4th position now, so
Yeah,
congratulations on the
thank you.
competition. Is there anyone you want to have a shout out to at home?
To my girlfriend intern, parents, my personal trainer Jamie, she's got me through it. So yeah. Great.
I've seen some of the posts on Facebook with your training routine. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, but also Brent in Adelaide, he's got me into this sport, and got to thank him a lot for that.
Yeah, Brent's a honorary Brisbane freediver. He came up and trained with us for a long time and really left his legacy with all the guys. A fantastic guy.
Yep.
Back in Adelaide.
Yeah, and all the Brisbane freedivers, obviously. They're a great bunch of people.
All right, thanks a lot, Lee. Congratulations again.
See you later.
That was Lee Woolley, just finished a dive of 165 metres, his second dive for the day. I think he did 155 metres a bit early on, so a massive day for him. He'll be wrapping himself around a big coffee in the not too distant future, I think. So we've got a few more minutes to go before the A final. Cameron Sutherland's out of the water now. He's chucking into a banana straight away. All these guys have to starve themselves before they dive, because if you dive with any food in your stomach, all that blood goes to your stomach to digest, and you lose all your oxygen. So these guys need to be pretty empty before they dive. So all the guys are setting up now, getting the rope ready. What time's our official top, Wayne? So the last 3 dives of the day here at the Curtis Coast Freedive Challenge. We're just finding that details for you now. We'll get back to you on that.
Okay, we're approaching the official top. How long before official top? Okay, we got 5 minutes to official top. So today's live stream broadcast is brought to you by Movie Madness TV Productions. These guys have been excellent on helping put this together. And if you need live stream, you should contact them. They're available. You just get onto the internet and get in touch with them. They've done a great job for us here, and it brings a new round to an event that you can actually put a live stream on. It doesn't have to be a sporting event. It could be a wedding or whatever. You could have people overseas tune in to whatever your occasion is with a live stream.
So we've just got under 4 minutes to go now. Last final, we'll push back a couple of minutes just to get everyone in place in time, just to make sure the last final is going to go to clockwork. So we've got 4 minutes to the last dive at the Curtis Coast Freedive Open. Lane C, we've got Jack Hatfield from Sydney, looking nice and relaxed. Lane B in the middle, we've got Mark Williams.
Brisbane freediver.
Yeah, from the Sunshine Coast of Queensland. Jack's pulling a face, nice and relaxed before his final dive. He's a very cool cat. He's nice and relaxed all the time.
Now, Richard Frost recently became a dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they haven't seen him at training that often since then. Funny about that.
Well, that'll do it, won't it?
Yeah, full-time work and dad, that's enough.
Absolutely. It's hard to fit in a bit of training in between all these sort of obligations.
And although young Paddy was the man who's been doing the majority of organising. Richard's been playing a major part in it as well. So definitely was a team effort.
All the Gladstone guys up here have been helping out, pitching in.
So Richard's probably been diving for about 2 years now. 2 years ago he walked into the pool here and C4 fins. Said, how about it?
So a lot of freedivers start, they see another freediver and say, ooh, I want a bit of that.
We have a good pool etiquette when we train, and we always have people watching. We have people walking up and down the side. We have partners watching partners, and people doing service protocol, and it's amazing how confident the pool owners and managers are when they see that occurring. Nobody in the pool, no swimmers, nothing has such a safety situation going.
Absolutely, it's one of the safest sports in the world. Okay, Wayne, I better go and do my job for a couple of minutes.
Yep.
And come back with some good news, hopefully.
Good on you.
Two minutes till official top.
2 minutes to official top. And it's representatives from Sydney, Brisbane and Gladstone. Lanes 1, 2 and 3. The interesting thing is you'll see people with different size neck weights, and ballast is a very individual thing, because to work out a ballast for a diver, one has to, there's quite a few things that need to be taken into account. One is bone and muscle density. You'll find someone with heavy bone and muscle density will not need so much weight. We've often found weight trainers who have really worked hard on that will need less weight. We had one person in Sydney that no weights, full breath hold, would still sink to the bottom of the pool. He was a pretty big guy.
1 minute till official top.
So the next thing that is part of the ballast plan is a person's lung fill. Now this is as an individual as we have different bodies. Some people have huge lung fills, some people don't, and it has a varying degree of benefit. Out of blue we'll find people without huge lung fills swimming great distances, and we have people like, for example, Dave Mullins, who has a huge lung fill. If he's packed, he's got about 15 litres, and of course he's doing very well with that 15 litres, you know. But the lung fill is very much affects your ballast, and so the weight around your neck will, you know, offset that lung fill. Okay, we're down to the last few seconds.
10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Official top. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Richard is away first.
6.
Double kick and glide is his style. Yes. In fact, they're all using the double kick and glide by the look at it. The different styles can be used by a monofinner, and you can do the constant kicking. You can do a single kick and glide, where you have a single kick and a glide, or a double kick and glide. And this, it is an individual thing, what a person trains for, what a person feels comfortable doing. A lot of divers do the double kick and glide at the moment, but not all. So we have the first touch done. Touch at 50 meters. Varying diver to diver, a person will often get their first urge to breathe after the 50 meters. I myself, about 75 meters, between 65 and 75, I'll get an urge to breathe. And everyone has their own way of handling this.
Touch 100.
So Jack has turned, he's away. Not a great turn for Richard there. He's away, and coming in here is Mark Williams. Very cool, calm place. So Jack Hatfield's just come up around about the 140 metre mark. And Richard has come up, and he's just come up around similar, 140, maybe not quite so fast. Mark Williams is still rolling. He's taken his time, and it is an individual thing. The Trans-Tasman contest in Sydney, Dave Mullins did a 200, 4 minutes. So he was taking time. Okay, there we have Mark Williams is up. He's got his mask. Actually, Mark Williams dives without a goggles, just a nose clip. Saves him when he comes up on surface protocol. He does not need to take his goggles off. Okay, Mark Williams did get the greater distance there. And of course the other factor on buoyancy, handling one's buoyancy, is how much water you displace. The amount of water you displace will give the body in the water an up thrust from the amount of water that it's displaced, causing a person to float. So a bigger body has a more of an up thrust going. And this varies, you might add a wetsuit to it, which doesn't add much mass, but it certainly adds size and displaces more water. So that means a person with a wetsuit would need to wear more weight. Wetsuits here serve two purposes. Definitely to keep the diver warmer, with all the waiting time, relaxing in the pool, calming, slowing down your heart rate. A diver will easily get cold, so a wetsuit handles that. But in freediving today, we also have the wetsuits as smooth skin. Smooth skin wetsuit allows the person to pass through the water easier and faster. So 135, the yellow card for pulling, which is reaching out, taking hold of the lane rope prior to his airways coming out of the water. So we have just seen the last swim of the day, the last official swim of the day. Let's hope they don't throw the judges in. Till we get our phones off ourselves anyway.
And we're back in the commentary box.
Well, that was an exciting one. And now look how close they are. They all came up within a few metres of each other.
I've got goosebumps. Look at that. Look at that. Goosebumps. I'm in awe of these guys doing a huge dives in one day. It's a fantastic.
Two big dives. There's no doubt about it.
So the dive I was just judging was Richard Frost, a local guy. He did 135 metres, but again he grabbed the rope, lane rope, just before he came up. So that was a 5-point penalty for him. But otherwise, it was a great dive.
Great dive. Good dive
2 minutes it took him.
2 minutes.
Yeah, nice and relaxed. He's got what most people do with his new hyper fins. They do 2 kicks and a glide. It's the most economical way of travelling underwater with the style of fin and the angle of the foot pocket and the way the fin works. 2 kicks and a glide is the best kick at the moment.
And it's probably the most used one, I would say, around. But every now and then we'll see a diver doing extremely well with the constant kicking or even a single kick and a glide.
Yep, absolutely. In the middle lane here we had Mark Williams from the Central Coast, Sunshine Coast of Queensland. He did 140 metres.
That's a good swim. Very
Absolutely.
Good swim.
I didn't see what was the result in the end lane.
Basically what you've got, if you look at the first B final, Lee finished in first place at the B final with 165. Jono with 118 and Cam with 111. In the A final, Mark finished first with 140. Jack and Richard tied at 135 each, but Richard incurred a penalty of 5, so that comes down to 130. So in the A final, Mark first, Jack second, Richard third.
And what was Jack's distance?
Jack's was 135. They both tied at 135.
Oh, really?
And it was only the grab that you awarded. Cost it.
Close. So close. Only a handful in it. So that concludes today's diving. Well, actually, it concludes the official part of today's diving. Word on the street is our cameraman Nick, the man behind the lens, has seen the day's festivities and wants to give it a crack. So come on over this side, Nick. How you feeling, mate? You've seen everyone else give it a go, and you want to give it a crack too?
Yeah, just to see how I go, see if I can do a 50. I'm not sure if I can, but I'll try it anyway.
Well, everyone starts somewhere. I started, my first dive was on, I think it was 26 metres. So everyone starts somewhere. So we'll let you get kitted up, and we'll have some judges there and some timekeepers and some video, and put you under competition conditions.
So we have to get the results collated.
Yep, the judges will collate the results, and we'll have a little ceremony towards the end, and then I think Fran's got a bottle of something in the esky, or as you Kiwis say, the chili bun.
The chili bun.
I think she's getting the competitors to have some kind of competitor challenge.
Yeah, now, if you're
all
overseas,
off camera, of course.
Yeah, if you're overseas, you'll actually wonder what this is. This is called the Great Australian Wave.
Yeah.
And it's because we have pesky flies.
We have a lot of flies here in Australia.
Yeah.
And one of them's getting me right now.
Yeah, that's the Great Australian Wave for all your overseas viewers.
So we've had a fantastic weekend here at the Curtis Coast Freedive Challenge. 2 days of diving, 3 events, dynamic no fins, static and dynamic with fins. Some personal bests, 4 national records, maybe 5, I'm not sure. We'll have to count those up.
Yep.
But we had Pejman Siavashi from Iran set 3 records.
3 records.
We had Jonathan Chong from Singapore set at least 2. I think there might have been a 3rd one today.
Yep. And then, of course, we had Amber Burke, who set a new Australian women's dynamic record.
200 metres.
Yep. Landmark distance.
Absolutely. Fantastic dive, and she looked fine at the end. Hypoxic, as you would expect, but she was well within her control, and it won't be long till we see her turn at 200.
I think so, and watch out.
Absolutely. So we'll just leave for the moment while we finish tallying up the results, and as all the safety divers dry off, and we'll get everyone together. My name's Ben Noble. I'm here with Wayne Judge. Thanks for everything today. We'll be back a little bit later.
What's up? Yeah, I do, bro. I do that all the time, so I don't bother buying new ones because I just, after 3 or 4 times, I just choose a little knob of it. That doesn't worry me. What's up? Those ones. You all right, mate?
Done. Relieved?
that feel? All right? Good. Oh.
I'll try it if you want. I'll probably die. You won't see it. You'll fucking drown.
Hey, Mike, what's the judging?
Yeah.
We're judging.
No, you're right. Well, we can take it from this one.
Right. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Fran.
Just go on the mic again.
You've got to go down 10 seconds after they say.
So here we have Tim. Tim having a crack. Nick's having a crack. Get the right name. And having a crack at a dynamic. He's got a couple of very long fins on. These fins are made of fiberglass. The technique that people sort of train towards is a relatively straight-legged stroke with a flutter kick, 10% knee bend or thereabouts. Of course, varying individual to individual, but the idea is keeping your stroke so it's fairly dynamic in the water, meaning you don't want legs coming up way out of the body profile because that stops the diver coming through. The new divers, when you come in there, it's probably not a particularly tough time because most new divers, the experience of the urge to breathe is sufficient to drive them to the surface. They have not learned to be able to handle, tolerate or dominate this urge to breathe. So, but of course, all swims in training and in competition are watched, and that is the actual line that makes the sport safe. You know? So Fran Rose has just advised the diver to take 3 breaths just before he goes. So this ensures the diver does not hyperventilate. So there's 3 breaths, no more than 3 breaths, 3 or 4. Divers, depending on the individual, have different requirements. It's become a very common, I wouldn't say it's popular yet, but a common thing that divers will tidal breathe. That means nothing larger than tidal breathe, what's the normal in and out, and then a large breath in a swim. And this sets a diver up to have a good dive response, and you notice the difference at the end of the swim when you come up a bit brighter than you would normally. Okay, Nick is away. He's swimming a dolphin style. He's rolling. The safety divers are keeping a breath with him. He's going fast. Fran's running down the side. If you go a bit too fast, you're going to find you build up the carbon dioxide, and this makes the diver feel very uncomfortable. Okay, he's popped up there. He's looking bright and fine. And the carbon dioxide is very uncomfortable, but as you see, he was so easy. There was no problem whatsoever coming head up. It's kind of relaxed. So once you get that initial breath or initial exhalation of the carbon dioxide, the symptoms disappear. It's not like a lowering of oxygen, where a person takes a little while to get that oxygen back up.
What's the rule? We have to swallow underwater?
Okay, we have just another one of Fran Rose's amazing competitions. Always brings a bit of fun to the end of them. The job here is to eat a large piece of white chocolate underwater while doing a static. So they are going underwater, they've got to eat the chocolate, and it is a static competition at the same time. Okay, the first one to finish. Here we go. The first one to finish the piece of chocolate. Oh, it's been changed. She's sticking on her feet. So it's the longest static while eating a piece of chocolate. Got a countdown now. Last year we had this team static, and the team static ended up one team managed to steal the oxygen bottle and use that. So the other teams were trying to put each other off, and then there was a raid. One team stole the oxygen bottle off the other team, so it was a very exciting competition. So, all right, they're down now, and the chocolate eating static.
It's a popping chocolate.
It's a popping chocolate, so it's got fizzy things in it that'll pop in their mouth. So this is going to be a task and a half. Okay, we have Nick up. Yep. Okay. All right, John's come up. Okay. We're getting divers up. Divers up. So we don't know if this is going to be released as a new discipline for freediving. I think there's a few more trials that need to be done before we can even consider that, including what safety you have to do and what chocolate actually. Oh, Ben's come up. Okay, so it was Jack Hatfield from Sydney managed to take the chocolate eating static competition.
Don't look around. Don't turn around.
the man.